My voice is going. I have lost my voice. I'm sorry if a few of my words don't come out properly. It's because my voice is going. We're going to try not to focus on that because we are focusing on American Horror Story. This video is long overdue. I finished Freak Show like 2 weeks ago. I've nearly finished Hotel. So yeah, I'm reviewing Freak Show. Sorry, this review is very late. Spoiler warning for American Horror Story Freak Show. Please get off this video if you want to see Freak Show and you haven't yet, because I am going to spoil the shit out of it. I'm gonna say it one more time. I am going to spoil Freak Show. So if you don't want Freak Show spoiled, then get off this video. But yeah, let's get right into this one, guys. I'm sorry if some of my words don't come out properly. Like I said, lost my voice. But American Horror Story Freak Show basically is the 4th season of American Horror Story. We've reviewed Coven, Asylum, Murder House, now Freak Show. And this season, kind of, I'm pretty sure it follows the Tatler twins. It pretty much follows the Tatler twins, played by Sarah Paulson. The two-headed person who, twins. And they basically get sent to this freak show. I'm sorry, my voice, it's so painful. But, and in this freak show we have Ethel Darling, and, she's a woman, she's a girl with a beard. We also have the shortest woman on earth. We have Jimmy Darling, who has lobster hands, lobster claws. Maybe you could even call them lobster claws, because that's what they are. It looks like if Spock was a giant in Star Trek and he did this, that's what it looks like. And a bunch of crazy shit does go down. We have Dandy Mott, who's this spoiled little rich kid. Not kid, he's like 30 years old. But he's like a spoiled brat. He's, and he wants everything in the world, but he's still not happy with what he has. And he goes against the Freak Show for a reason we'll get into later, and the Freak Show go against him. And then we also have Twisty the Clown, who we'll get into later. I like this season, thought it was really good. I think it's just better than Coven. I'm not sure, I think it might be better than Coven. I'm pretty sure it is, because this is actually a really cool season. There are some episodes, there are some moments in this season that are kind of a bit meh. But apart from that, this is a really cool season with really cool characters. Once again, Evan Peters is great. Jessica Lange is great. This is the last season Jessica Lange is starring in American Horror Story. I'm so sad she's quitting the show. She might come back in season 7. She might have to come back in the crossover season with Murder House and Coven, because Constance is still alive, so who knows? She might even come back as Fiona Good, but maybe even both. But yeah, like I said, this is a cool season. Now let's dive deep into this. Like I said, I'm gonna spoil this. Lots of crazy shit goes down. First thing I want to get into is Twisty. Now, Twisty the Clown is a really cool character. He hates the freaks, because he wants to basically kill them, because he's a killer clown. He dies way too early. I know Dandy takes over, but he dies way too early. Edward, he dies, after he reveals his backstory. His backstory is, the freaks were mean to him. He was like a clown. He was a nice clown back then, who used to do tricks for the kids. He was bullied by the freaks, and he tried to kill himself by shooting himself in the, putting the gun in the mouth. Couldn't even kill himself. So So he has this disfigured face, which he covers up with a mask. And he's going to get revenge on the freaks, even though they're completely different than the ones who bullied him. And every Halloween, if the freaks perform on Halloween, Edward Mordrake comes. Edward Mordrake is like this freak. who had two faces, he had one face here, and then he turned around, he had like this other small face, which was kind of like a demon, and I'm pretty sure he killed himself, I think he did, but if freaks perform on Halloween, they summon him, and he will not leave without taking a freak with him to the other side, to hell, is it to hell? I'm pretty sure it's to hell. And he takes Twisty because, he gets them to reveal their backstories, and he takes Twisty. So that's why he reveals his backstory and all. But Edward Mordrake comes, he has two parts, Edward Mordrake Part 1 and 2. Pretty sure it's the 4th and 5th episode. No, 3rd and 4th, something like that. But, we have some cool characters as well, other cool characters, like the Tatler twins. They're alright. They're not. I feel I won't get into Hypodermic Sally yet because I'll get into her in my hotel review. But we'll just leave her out of the picture. But Tatler twins were okay. Bet and Dot, their names are. I loved Bet. Bet was pretty funny. They're two completely different people. Like usually, if there was like a two-headed twins, in movies or TV series, movies like these, they'd be like the exact same person, like they'd say the exact same things and stuff. They're two completely different people with two completely different personalities, so I really like that. We also have Evan Peters, who always plays a cool character in these shows, and no different in Freak Show. He plays Jimmy Darling, Lobster Boy. I loved him in this. He wasn't better than Tate. He wasn't better than Kit. Oh, he might have been. Oh, no. Tate and Kit are kind of better than Jimmy Darling. I like those characters better, especially Tate. But Jimmy Darling was still awesome. We have Elsa Mars, who lost her legs in a snuff film, and she, basically started a freak show. She's basically the owner. Yeah, she's the owner. And she got her legs cut off, and she's basically one of them. It's a big twist. But the thing I want to get into. What was I going to say? Sorry, I forgot for a minute. Pepper. Pepper starts off as normal Pepper. She's kind of like not a freak. I don't want to call them freaks because I don't like being called freaks. Different, minded people. But she's nothing really. She doesn't have a diet. She will have a diet. She doesn't have a particular diagnosis. She's just kind of disabled. I'm not sure how to explain it. She can understand what you're saying, but she's not normal like a human being. Like me and you, unless you are a freak. But that's highly unlikely. But anyway, Pepper's backstory is revealed. Elsa Mars brought her into the freak show from the orphanage because she was in an orphanage so she was in an orphanage because her mum and dad didn't want her anymore. They couldn't handle her. So Elsa Mars took her in. She was like the first freak. She was like the first freak to be in the freak show. And to this day, she's still in the freak show. But then what happened was, Jessica Lange took her to. Jessica Lange wanted to find a better home for Pepper after Elsa Mars, Jessica Lange, I'm just going to call her Elsa Mars. Elsa Mars wanted to find a better home for Pepper after, they're going to shut down the freak show. So she takes her to her sisters, who, like her mum and dad, didn't want her anymore, but at least the sister did kind of love her. She left Pepper there with her sister, and she was taking care of the baby that her sister had with her husband, and the husband killed the baby, sliced off the baby's ears and drowned him, and Pepper got accused of it. So she got taken to Briarcliff, and we basically get to see why she got taken to Briarcliff, and the asylum from the second season, and she meets Sister Mary Eunice. We meet Sister Mary Eunice again in her normal self, not when she's possessed by the devil. The part that was really emotional though was when Elsa Mars was saying goodbye to Pepper for the last time. She goes, I think Elsa Mars says, kisses her on the cheek and says, if you ever feel down or if you ever need me, now that you've got a kiss on your ear from me, just put your hand on your cheek and I'll be there. I might not be looking at you, I might not be physically there, but I'm in your heart. So just put your hand on your cheek because I kissed you there, basically. And when she goes to the asylum, she's, Pepper's, putting all the magazines in order, and she sees Elsa Mars, and a tear drops from her eye, and she holds her cheek. Now that was really emotional. That was really, really cool. I just thought it was a great way to, basically finish off Pepper. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the last time we see her in American Horror Story. Maybe not the last time we see Naomi Grossman, but probably Pepper. Sorry. But we also have Dandy, who's an arsehole. He ends up killing all the freaks at the end, except for Elsa Mars, because she leaves. She leaves to go to Hollywood. She kills Seal Boy. She kills Eve. She doesn't kill Ma Petite, because Ma Petite already gets killed by, basically the strong man of the bunch. Just what do you call it? Strong man. Like he can lift anything. He kills Ma Petite, basically suffocates her. So that was kind of a bit of a, knowing that it's not real, it was kind of a cool part, She was being smothered by him. It was kind of gross, but it was a good disturbing moment. But, Dandy does kill all the freaks. And the only survivors are Pepper, because she got taken away, to Brightcliff. And the 3 boobed woman, who isn't too interesting of a character, and also Elsa Mars. But I want to talk about the finale really quick, and then we'll finish off. I wasn't a big fan of the finale. Elsa Mars basically becomes this huge TV star, and she becomes selfish and all that, and Jimmy Darling survives. Jimmy Darling does survive the shooting, but Jimmy Darling gets married to Bet and Dot. Ethel Darling, gets killed by Elsa Mars after Ethel Darling points a gun at Elsa Mars because, Elsa's a bit of a selfish woman, and Ethel thinks that she should die. So Elsa basically kills her in self-defense. But that's long before the finale. But the finale wasn't too great. Elsa gets married, and it's just a bit sloppy, kind of like this review has been. Lots to explain. But wasn't a big fan of the finale. Love the ending of the finale though, where Edward Mordrake comes back to get Elsa Mars, but he says, "You're dead, but you don't belong with me." As we see Twisty and, they all go back to where they came from. So she goes back to the freak show, but like a ghost freak show. So she sees all the freaks who are dead, like she goes to basically the exact same freak show, but all of them are ghosts, and they get, a packed house every night, full house, and we see Ethel, we see the Seal Boy and Lizard Girl, who aren't too interesting for the most part. That's why I didn't explain them too much in this review. But yeah, guys, this is a good season. I'm gonna give it a 7.9. So yeah, guys, that's about it. American Horror Story Freak Show. We have lots of crazy things happening with Dandy, Twisty, Pepper, Elsa, Jimmy Darling, and especially Bet and Dot, who we follow, like I said, throughout the season pretty much. Thank you for watching this review, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all later.